Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my grotto. So for today I'm bringing you my May wrap up. So I watched a total of 2 movies this month, which is actually not very much for the amount of movies that I watched. A total of 6 books. So I think I did really great considering the fact that I was so sure that I was going to fall into the worst reading slump of all time after I finished A Court of Wings and Ruin this month. But I actually didn't. I actually managed to read a couple more things, so I'm actually happy with my number for this month. I'm going to start off with talking about the movies a little bit, and then we'll go into the books. The first movie that I watched this month was Kikis Delivery Service. This is one of the Miyazaki Disney films. This is actually the first Miyazaki film that I've ever seen. So this actually follows young Kiki, who is actually a witch, and it is a witch tradition to leave her home for an entire year and fly off to a different city, a different town, and basically just learn how to be a witch. So Kiki does that. She flies off with her little cat Gigi, and when she arrives in this land far away from where she's from, she establishes a business, which is Kiki's Delivery Service, and we go on this ride along with Kiki and Gigi while she tries to, find independence and learn responsibility, and she's just trying to find her place in the world. I enjoy this so much. It was so different from any other movie or TV show that I've ever seen. I actually really enjoyed the pace of this movie. It wasn't like our TV and our movies where things are happening so fast and everything's coming at you and you just have to try and keep up. It was such a slow movie in the best way possible. Like, it wasn't slow, like the plot wasn't slow. It was just the movie, the way it played out was slow, and it almost felt like you were watching this through a daydream. And I really like that because I feel like I could really submerge myself into this world. So really love this movie. I'm actually looking forward to the rest. I think I'm gonna try and watch My Neighbor Totoro pretty soon, so we'll see how I like that one. But I love this movie. It's really cute. The second movie that I watched this month is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I don't know how I feel about this movie. I had fun watching it. It was entertaining, but it was almost like too cheesy for me. Like, it was trying way too hard to be funny, and I don't know. There was something about the humor in this movie that I wasn't really having it, to be honest. It was just like a little too forced, it felt at times. I also felt like the music wasn't as memorable as the first movie, and I feel like that's kind of what brought the whole movie together, was the music. And it's just, when you think about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, that's what you think about, is the amazing music, and you just don't get that in this movie, and it makes me a little sad because that's like one of my favorite things that I loved about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. I know that a lot of people have been saying that the second one is better than the first one, and I highly disagree. I full on believe that the first one is so much better than the second one, and I'm not saying that if you haven't watched it, don't watch it, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind. There were a couple of things in the second movie that I really did enjoy. If anything, of course, Baby Groot. The ending, I don't want to spoil anything, so I don't want to say anything, but the ending to this was really heartbreaking, and it hit me right in the feels, and I ugly cried so hard in that movie theater. If you haven't seen it, do go watch it because it is entertaining and it is fun to watch. Just, go in there not expecting too much. That's what I think. So for the books that I read this month, I'm going to try and go in order that they were read in. They might be a little off because I can't remember, but so I talked about this a little bit in a couple of my videos. This is the Once Upon a Time Reginas Rising. We get to know Regina and why she becomes the way she is and why she becomes the evil queen, but this actually goes even further back. This goes when she was a child. This goes to when she was a teenager, and you learn why Regina is the way she is, and you see her relationship with her mother a lot more and how it got to be where it is, and you also see her mom and dad's relationship and how that shaped Regina. So you got to see a lot of that. So I really liked it. It's, I wouldn't say that this is a must read, but if you like Once Upon a Time and, you like to know about the characters' backstories, now that we have to kind of wait for season 7 to come back on and see what the heck is going to happen. If you want a little quick Once Upon a Time fix, this is actually a good book for that. Again, don't go in expecting too much, but if you just read it for the pure enjoyment of reading, it's actually a lot of fun to read. The second book that I read, which I do not have with me at the time, I actually left it at work, and so I'm just gonna pretend that it's here in my hand. But that is, of course, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I love that book. I had a little fangirl ramble session, which I'll link down below, so I'm not really going to go much into detail about that one, but that is something that I read and I really enjoyed. And I'm actually thinking of reading the entire series again sometime soon because I loved it so much and I just kind of want to read everything together back to back. The second book, or the third book that I read this month, was The Most Dangerous Place on Earth by Lindsay Lee Johnson. I did a book review on this, so again, I'm not going to go very much into this one, and I'll leave a book review link down below so you guys can check that out if you would like. You guys can hear my thoughts about this one down below. The next book I read is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. So I picked it up because I was seeing it so much and I've been wanting to pick this up for a while, so I figured, what the heck, this is a good time to do it, so I did it. And I read this in one sitting, which I rarely do. For those of you who don't know what this is about, this follows our character Laura Jean, and she writes these love letters to all the boys that she's ever loved, and she doesn't mail them, she keeps them hidden somewhere, and somehow they end up getting mailed out, and now she has to deal with the consequences of the boys receiving these love letters, and so it kind of follows her throughout all of this chaos. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought that Laura Jean and her family were really freaking adorable. There's some issues that I had with this book. I have a weak spot for like sisterhood topics in books, and this one had that a lot, but there were some things that were a little unrealistic, at least to me. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It's not one of the most like amazing books ever written. It'd probably fall into like my guilty pleasure section, that I could just like pick up and read really quick and enjoy it and just be, it's like cute fartsy book that I read in like 3 hours. It was great. I'm actually looking, okay, don't mind me, I'm not doing anything important here, just, you know. Okay, so I guess someone's gonna be in this video now because, okay, are you just gonna sit there? Alright, I guess this is how we're gonna do this video now. The next two books that I read were a part of my comic book readathon that I participated in earlier this month, which first one was Groot, and the second one was Ghost by Raina Telgemeier. I talked about these a little bit more in my comic book readathon wrap-up, which I will link down below so you guys can check that out if you want to hear a little bit more about these. I loved both of these very, very much. That's all I'll say. On the Groot topic, I actually just came back from Disneyland yesterday, and I met Groot, danced with Groot, I took a selfie with Groot, and I just fangirled so hard meeting Groot in Disneyland. It was one of like the best experience of all time, so I just had to kind of throw that out there because I'm still like, oh, you guys, I met Groot, I met Groot. So after reading this and then like 2 days later meeting Groot, I'm just like about Groot. So I think I might reread this again because I'm just like obsessed with him right now, and yeah. Alright guys, so that is it for my May wrap up. Like I said, I actually thought I did really well this month. Overall, I'm actually really pleased with myself, so I can't really complain. That's all I have for you guys this time around. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.